You are a leader. You are an expert at what you do. You are confident in your abilities. Yet you self sabotage when it comes to going live, and you can't figure out why. If you've already resonated with what I said about being a leader, about self sabotage when it comes to going live or being in front of people in that kind of way, about being a confident leader who self sabotages when it comes to going live, then I want you to go to just right away, just go to getmypowerup.com and we can have a conversation about this. So, you may have guessed it. Today I am talking about going live and all the feelings that go along with it, because we have a lot of feelings about going live, right? Maybe you feel like everything has to be absolutely perfect in order to go live. Your inner critic likes to speak up and tells you that no one's going to listen to you anyway. No one's going to like what you have to say. So you self-sabotage. You make all the excuses. You hide. And then you start to lose faith in yourself because you fear how others are going to respond to you. Sound familiar? I'm going to tell you more about it in a little bit, but I have opened up some spots in my calendar to take on clients who are trying to figure this very thing out. Why is this happening and how to fix it so that you can show up as an authority instead of hiding and instead of the self-sabotage. So if that's you, then I want you to go to getmypowerup.com so that we can talk about getting you one of those spots in my calendar. So let's talk about 3 of the more common feelings that you might be having about going live. Number 1, you might be feeling like there is no room for error. I will say that I have heard this repeatedly from leaders. So somewhere in your mind, you've created this story, this pattern, this belief that you cannot make a mistake. And the fear of making that mistake outweighs the benefits of showing up and being visible. Consequently, you miss out on opportunities. You miss out on showing potential clients who you are and how you can support them. Because that fear of making an error outweighs the benefits of showing up and being visible to them. Number 2, the audience is judging you. That's another one that I hear a lot. So once again, you've created a story in your mind, and this time that story is that your audience is full of experts in your field, and they are critiquing your every word, every little detail about your appearance, your background, everything you can possibly imagine. They are critiquing you harshly. Do you think that's real? Because when you self-sabotage in this way, what you're doing is you're undermining your own expertise. You're discounting what you know that you know that you know. And the truth is that you know more than the people who need you. Do you hear that? You know more than the people who need you. And you're never going to attract someone who knows more than you or who doesn't need you. If someone doesn't need what you have to offer, they're going to keep scrolling. They're not going to pay attention. But if you don't show up because of that fear, then what's happening is that the person who does need you is missing out on the transformation they could be having because your fear is greater. Number 3, most common thing I hear is that you feel like you need to put on some kind of facade. So you may feel like you need to step into some kind of a costume or persona in order to go live because you've created a story that who you are isn't enough to pull it off. You're not the kind of person who's brave enough. You're not the kind of person who has the ability to show up as an authority. So you have to put on some kind of appearance, some kind of costume, some kind of persona, some kind of fake thing in order to have the guts to do it. what happens here is that you're depriving your audience of getting to know the real you. And the real you is who they're buying. It's what they're buying. Even more so than that incredible expertise that you have. They're buying into you. And when you don't have the ability to show up as you, then instead of seeing the true you, they're seeing this persona, and that's not attractive. Our human instincts are always able to call out the BS, right? Like, your audience is seeing right through that. I was talking with a colleague of mine a couple weeks ago about this very topic. She is a TEDx speaker, and she is a dynamic leader in her industry and a phenomenal coach. But when it comes to clicking that little go live button, she goes into full-on panic mode. And she knows her stuff inside and out. She's completely confident in her own expertise, about her own knowledge base, so it's not that. But she shared with me that she grew up with a belief that was passed down in her family that dictates that she's never to be seen in public without being perfectly put together. And that means perfect hair, perfect face, perfect clothes, perfect demeanor, perfect speech, everything like that. This perfectionism rears its ugly head when she goes live. And she will put it off and put it off and put it off and make all kinds of excuses about why she can't do it. Because everything isn't perfect as is. And there's not enough time for it to become perfect. Or if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing it. So we had a conversation about that. About going live, and she opened up to me about all these fears that she has, some of the things that she's tried in order to get over these fears. And we talked about what's behind all of it. And the very next day, I got a message from her that she went live in her bedroom in her pajamas. She felt inspired to let go of that fear and of everything being perfect. She let go of all the excuses, all the crutches that she used to use, and she did it. And she felt amazing about it. She was so proud of this accomplishment. And so if you want to experience that kind of shift and more, that kind of confidence and more, then let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. I mentioned that I'm opening up some spots in my calendar to coach some leaders like you who are battling fear of going live or showing up as an authority or giving presentations, feeling like a fraud. And what's going to happen is I'm going to take you through my system that helps you maximize your true identity, who you truly are, so that you can influence any type of audience that you're in front of for any reason. This is something that I do with my singers, my actors, my competitors. It's the same thing. We're also going to use your vulnerability, the thing that you think is a weakness. I'm going to show you how to use that as a superpower, how to use that to your advantage. And I'm also going to show you how to command any room, any audience with authority. That way you can show up, you can influence, and you can lead with authority and confidence. You can eliminate that fraud factor altogether. And so you can make the most of your opportunities rather than just letting them slip away. So if you are a leader that would benefit from this, then let's talk. Let's have a conversation about how I can help you get to the other side of these fears so that you can show up as an authority. So I want you to visit the link. It's in the description. I'm also going to put it in the comments. It's getmypowerup.com and set up a time to chat with me about it. So I know it feels scary. It can feel terrifying, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. There is a solution for this. And I want you to be able to enjoy speaking and enjoy being in front of other people. I want you to step fully into your potential so you can feel confident that who you are is not only okay, but it's exactly who you need to be. That's all I have for you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to helping you with all of this and more. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.